Have you ever witnessed a legal standoff so explosive that it nearly sank an entire production? Rumors are swirling that Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni have plunged into an intense battle over It Ends With Us, a project that was once poised to be the next major Hollywood success. Now, accusations of stolen creative control, secret HR complaints, and alleged attempts to bury the truth are causing a frenzy. One star seems desperate to keep certain details hidden, while the other fights to reclaim his reputation. And it's all unfolding in front of a captivated public that can't quite decide who to believe. Just a few months ago, It Ends With Us felt like a dream collaboration. Blake Lively's magnetic screen presence and Justin Baldoni's flair for heartfelt storytelling seemed like the perfect match for Colleen Hoover's beloved novel. Fans were counting down to the premiere, excited for what they hoped would be a nuanced exploration of difficult themes. But then rumors began to surface. Whispers that Blake Lively hadn't just asked for more creative input, she'd allegedly seized control of the film's final cut, sidelining Baldoni from the process entirely. Fuel was added to the fire when Lively's legal team supposedly tried to hush key witnesses, culminating in a request for a gag order on Baldoni's lawyer. That request was denied, but the entire ordeal magnified the tension simmering behind the scenes, leaving many to wonder, was there more to this story than a simple creative difference? As soon as the legal sparks began to fly, a wave of scandalous reports flooded social media. Some accused Lively of orchestrating an elaborate smear campaign to tarnish Baldoni's reputation. Others claimed it was Baldoni's camp that planted damaging stories about his co-star to gain sympathy. Private text messages, real or fabricated, mysteriously leaked, suggesting everyone involved was working overtime to control the narrative. Screenshots allegedly showed PR representatives brainstorming ways to dominate headlines or squash stories before they could go viral. Fans, meanwhile, were left sifting through contradictory social posts, mainstream media coverage, and rampant speculation. It didn't take long for this controversy to evolve from hushed whispers into a full-blown digital storm. Just when it seemed like matters couldn't get any messier, purported Sony HR documents emerged. They painted a disturbing picture of Justin Baldoni's conduct on set, alleging that multiple actresses, possibly including Lively herself, felt uncomfortable or threatened by him. The papers described scenarios in which Baldoni supposedly crossed physical boundaries, only to shrug off concerns as mere misunderstanding. Yet, a wave of skepticism greeted these so-called HR files. Sony quickly denied knowing anything about the incident. Journalists questioned why, if the claims were genuine, the studio had remained silent from the start. Even more puzzling was the timing of this leak. It surfaced right before Lively amended her lawsuit to highlight new accusations against Baldoni. Critics argued it was a transparent attempt to rally public opinion to her side, especially since certain details contradicted earlier statements praising Baldoni's collaborative spirit. Inevitably, the controversy took a heavy toll. Both camps began bleeding support as corporate sponsors, fans, and even some industry peers decided they wanted no part in the drama. Baldoni, once celebrated for championing uplifting stories, found himself labeled a villain by countless social media users. Lively, who has spent years cultivating an image of grace and composure, faced scathing critiques for allegedly stonewalling her co-star and stooping to unverified leaks. Some outlets tried to play it safe, refusing to publish certain documents for fear they might be defamatory. Others ran sensational headlines that only escalated the chaos. From hashtags condemning Baldoni's supposed actions to tweets hailing Lively as a bold whistleblower, public opinion diverged sharply. And in the midst of that online explosion, both stars were left with tarnished reputations, hemorrhaging public goodwill as the story persisted in the headline. Then, high-profile commentators like Candace Owens and Megyn Kelly joined the conversation, each with strong words for Blake Lively. They accused her of inflaming tensions to overshadow her own misdeeds, alleging that Lively had a history of trying to sabotage her co-stars and manipulate the press. Owens, in particular, took Lively to task for presenting documents to multiple media outlets in hopes of fueling a negative campaign against Baldoni. At the same time, some entertainment insiders proposed that Lively was simply defending herself. According to their view, if she truly felt threatened or manipulated by Baldoni, it was her right, maybe even her duty, to speak out. Others took an entirely different approach, suggesting the entire fiasco might be a publicity stunt to keep the film in the spotlight. With so many clashing narratives, it became nearly impossible to pin down the absolute truth. Amid the swirling accusations, one detail repeatedly stood out: Justin Baldoni's emotional vulnerability. Known for advocating men's mental health, Baldoni has never shied away from discussing his personal struggles. And during the It Ends With Us production, those struggles seemed to amplify. He reportedly shouldered the dual burden of directing a film with deeply sensitive themes, domestic conflict, trauma, personal growth, and co-starring alongside a colleague who, rumor has it, was orchestrating backdoor power play. By the time filming wrapped, Baldoni hinted at feelings of isolation and exhaustion, confiding in friends that he had woken up at dawn with his heart racing, overcome by anxiety. If that wasn't enough, once the filming ended, the legal maelstrom only got louder, turning what should have been a celebratory launch into an unending nightmare. In interviews that came to light, Baldoni described having breakdowns between takes, attempting to shake off his character's aggression so he wouldn't bring the emotional baggage into real life. Where fans once saw a calm creative visionary, they now saw an artist cracking under the weight of allegations, media pressure, and betrayal by someone he initially praised for improving the film. Some observers argue that behind all the emotional turmoil lies a very different story, one of raw ambition and clashing egos. Blake Lively is no stranger to Hollywood power move, and it's rumored that she demanded creative ownership over the film to match her rising brand. Meanwhile, Baldoni, who purchased the rights to It Ends With Us, found himself sidelined from his own brainchild. Industry whispers suggest that once Lively had enough influence on the project, she froze Baldoni out, drastically reshaping the film to project her own vision. When he resisted, or so the story goes, all bets were off. Aggressive PR maneuvers soon erupted, and the headlines about alleged misconduct, compromised endorsements, and hushed legal maneuvers followed. Some media personalities even pointed to an incident where Lively admitted to poisoning a cast against a co-star in her early career. Proof, they say, of a long-standing pattern. Then there's Ryan Reynolds, Lively's husband and a formidable Hollywood presence in his own right. Rumor has it that he stepped into the fray with sardonic comments and subtle jabs at events like SNL's 50th anniversary, inadvertently shining a brighter spotlight on the ordeal. Instead of cooling tempers, it appeared to intensify public curiosity about the behind-the-scenes meltdown. So, what really happened on the set of It Ends With Us? Has Blake Lively staged a dramatic takeover while burying anyone who stood in her path? Or is Justin Baldoni simply fighting back against claims he feels are baseless and destructive? For now, there are only fragments of evidence, a text here, a leaked document there, carefully crafted statements and sudden retraction. The only certainty is that a project once anticipated for its heartfelt storytelling is now under a cloud of suspicion and swirling rumors. The truth might surface in court, or it might stay buried beneath spin and sealed files. As viewers, we're left to piece together the puzzle, wondering if these alleged power plays and cunning maneuvers are the true story behind the film, or if there's more to unravel than we ever imagined. Let us know your thoughts. Are we witnessing a desperate attempt to defame a co-star for personal gain, or is this a genuine battle for justice within a complicated industry? If there's one thing this saga proves, it's that Hollywood can be even more dramatic off-screen than on. Stay tuned, because in an age of viral revelations and shocking lawsuits, nothing stays hidden for long.